Yeah. But the big thing to be learned though is like these guys go to high level plays. They got the best science. They got everything. But if people don't care about you, they don't love you. Like they only gonna pull you so far. Like you can have somebody who loves you, and you see it. All the hometown trainers work with young guys when they're in their hometown and get them far. But they really love them. They really wake them up. They really get them there. They really push them towards their goals. It's not just hey, come train a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna get a text from me. It says we train at 5 a.m. It's 4 days a week. You showed up 3 days a week, 2 days in a row. Do it another week, you're not coming back, okay? Do it another week, you're not coming back. And it's just like love has a totality. So when you let somebody slack off, when you let somebody do 3 sets instead of 4 sets, when you let them have an easier workout, when you don't put their weights on correctly, when you don't have a plan and a progression in place for your athlete, you're going to do them a disservice. Say whatever you want to say on your Instagram, say whatever you want to say to that athlete between your communication, but if you're not putting things together for your athlete and pulling them through to their goal, not just setting up a plan for their goal, it's not a totality of love that's happening. So you need the totality of love to really like achieve high levels of success. I believe. That's why you believe always in coming home. That's why you always believe in coming home.
For real. It's going to show it for itself.
I mean, shoot, 6 years in the league.
With the message, I like that.
You know?
Don't talk much.
Seventh year in the league,
You
man.
got good trainers, and it's like they don't care. And it's like, okay, well, I don't care to train with you. You know what I'm saying?
And it probably only gets better.
It only gets better.
Like this is probably gonna be your favorite year, because of like where the what you went through and the trials and tribulation, and now all of a
I think
sudden,
he is going to have a little bit more of a sense
It's
of
just,
that.
you know, just a lot of the downtime and a lot of the struggles, you know, been through, you know. The league it's gonna be highs and lows, you know what I'm saying? But it's how you maneuver, it's how you
adapt,
it's the resilience,
liability,
exactly, the resilience, and just showing, you know, just showing yourself, but also the man upstairs that, you know, I have faith. That's all it is.
I love that.
That's all it is.
What you got him doing today? What you got him doing today, JoJo?
4 reps. All right, so we got trap bar jumps. We're gonna go into after we do we're doing a vertical jump set today. He had a little bit of lateral and linear work on the field, so we're just working one power block of training. We're using the trap bar jump. We don't clean them. AC joint injury in college, so we don't do cleans. We do trap bar jump for that explosive strength block. We're gonna go into unilateral strengthening with a plyometric superset. It's called French contrast training. Trying to develop power out of the single leg. So that's what we'll be doing after that. From there, though, a little bit of prehab to the lower body and quickly going into like some like pump work. He's got some rotational drills in there, but it's gonna be more so pump work. It's our horizontal press day. Boom!
And that's why he's the best.
Boom!
And that's why he's the best.
Boom!
That's the thing about JoJo though. That's what makes him great. Is like
That's what I want to market. That's what I want to market though. Just like it is.
Yeah, people practice that right there. I'll say, damn, something about it. He'd be like, okay, so it'd be this, it'd be that, it'd be this. I be like, oh, he's on head. He's labbing right
At the field, it happened today. He's like this. I was like laying him back. And they say 10 years of experience, you're a true professional in your field. And it's just like you hear hips and you're like, I'm like, all right, lay on your back. You check iliacus, psoas. Second thing, what is the second thing we check? You're gonna go into rec fem, yeah. So you're gonna go iliacus, psoas, then you're gonna go rec fem. What's tugging on this area? Could that be pinching down on and pulling on the adductor muscle right here? And that's why we're really feeling it. And then as soon as we got into the groin area, everything lit up into the hip. So we kind of cut our field work session short, got him on the table, did a little bit more work on his adductor and his groins. Now we're out here training in the weight room.
Jeez. Yep.
The process, the plan. If you ain't got it for you, did you get a video of trap bar? No. Let's go. One more set. I love it.
That's crazy.
It's like I've told Tim of this, but like just like, you know, I wasn't so confident when I was training. You know what happens? You're not around other people. You're just training in a warehouse.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's good or bad. I'm just training and trying to do what's best for people. I think that's where people go wrong with that too. It's like I've always not looked at it like an hour session or like you're at work for an hour. Like, bro, let's get people right.
Yeah.
But maybe that's where the love comes in and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I love what I do. Like you actually get to help people.
That's the most important thing. If you ain't got that,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be passionate, and then you're not gonna put the time in to know what you need to teach them.
I'll tell you what, yeah, if you don't do it and you're not passionate, you don't fall in love with it, you don't end up with a lab gym. That's what don't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's built because you fell in love with it, you did it, you tried and proven because you're a pro, you built the facility, you built the clientele, now you have the facility, now you have trainers in the facility, now you have members in the facility. It's just like that doesn't happen without the love. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people don't have that love, it feels like a business. It don't feel, you know what I'm saying? It don't feel like family. Got it.
All right, what's
French
next?
contrast. I'm going to kind of keep them out here a little bit, but I need something for Bulgarians. We can do something a little sexier. We're going to do forward backward.
So do you write a lot of this stuff down, or do you just kind of go off the top of your head because obviously you've done it for so long?
I put everything in my notes first and then into trainerized second. So like everything will be put in here, like his whole workout, the trap bar jump and everything, and then I'm only using, this one didn't have it. It was a different program for him. But yeah, they're like Jacob's bench and all his numbers and his 10-yard flies, 10-yard build, the dates for the build.
Got it.
Then input that into a system. So like like 5 minutes before people get here, they're going to get something that says dynamic warm up, 8 stretches. I make everybody do it. I make pro athletes do it, prolific prep do it. I've made the pregnant moms do it at the old gym. Everybody does the dynamic warm up. Increases core temperature. You're prepping tissue for movement. So what you're doing is you're lengthening and then shortening. You're allocating the blood flow to the muscle belly. But then also as you get into something like a bench press, your first set isn't have 135 pounds on it for a warm-up set, and then you're trying to pull tissue and no, you're just mobilizing the tissue before you go get into a movement like that. So everybody gets a dynamic warm-up. Prep work. Prep work is dependent on 2 things. Number 1, what the client or athlete has going on. Knee injury, ankle sprain. Depending on what that is, you might have 1 to 2 prep movements for like ankle rotations if you sprained your ankle. Then you might have like ball of the foot ankle hops or something like such. But then if we're squatting that day, I'm worried about your hip mobility. I'm worried about lumbar mobility. So you'll do something like bird dog. I always do bird dogs and 90-90s and adductor rock. But we're just trying to mobilize tissue. Really, even if you put 4 movements together, just even on a solo program, you're going to get pretty far because you're going to mobilize and get into your work. But dynamic warm up and prep work. Prep work, 2 things. What do they have going on and what is our lifts for the day? Then from there, programming kind of depends. Like on a high day, you're probably going to focus more so on strengthening. Get into something like back squat, work high percentages on back squat. But that means day 2, you're going to work like something lower percentage, a low level plyometric or something like that. Work on reactive force. They're not loading their body so much. And then you got to like dose in all their upper body work. Like upper body for strength and conditioning and athletics, if they're doing 3 to 4 days a week because they're playing sport 5 or 6 days out the week, it usually gets dosed into a 3-day program because one day's going to have a squat, one day's going to have a hinge, one day's going to have a unilateral strength focus for lower body, but then you're going to get into horizontal pressing, horizontal pulling, vertical pressing, rotation, anti-rotation. So outside of that, if it gets too much sexier than that, it's really not what they need. It's really not what they need. So you got to develop those blocks, and then from there, what does your athlete really need to develop? Because there's time frames as well. If he's back for a week, he knows I won't send a program. All right, we got a couple workouts. Don't go heavy on any load in the gym. I might throw in a little bit more stability post legs, or a little bit more mobility pre-workout. But I'm really trying to, if you're back for a week as a pro athlete, man, go do all your heavy work with your team. You're back for a week. Here, mobilize. Let's gain a little bit more stability as you go back. If anybody's back for more than 30 days, they're going to get a 4-week program. I'll write their entire program out and send it to them. It's not send it to them. I send it to them in spurts, but
that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff, and that's why they need coaches, because it's like a lot of these guys.
That's why I never post. That's why I never post.
I've been trying to get JoJo to do this stuff with me. He don't post because he's too busy doing all this.
It'd be like, bro, he knows. I tell people, like, my life done, too. My life is done. I'm a coach. My wife knows I'm a coach. It's like, I want to go outside tonight. We went to a San Ramon women's basketball game for varsity, so that's what I do to go outside. And then, like, today, when the time comes down to eating, I'm like, let's go to Sprouts. When I get home, I'm going to pick up the kids. I'll go to Sprouts and send you some videos. They got meal prep chicken already. Teach young men how to eat. Teach these athletes how to eat and stuff like that. Like, it takes more than your session. And I always tell young strength coaches, it's going to take more. That you're going to intern for 60 hours a week and not get paid your first 2 years as a strength coach. If you're a strength and conditioning coach on the private sector, grind or it's going to fail.
Jeez, that's a lot.
You do stuff. You got to do stuff for free. You got to grind or you're going to fail, for real.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of stuff for free. People don't understand that part of it either.
Me and you both understand that. Nobody understands that too. Me and you both understand that, and nobody understands that, bro. Me and you would be the two that understand that, and nobody understands it. Oh, is he running this way? Okay. Cool. Boom. As you guys are here, goblet, the drill, boom, drive up. Yeah, just go 3 each side. Kettlebell, because you're going to hold that chest. T-spine strength. Some hurdles after.
So do you find it with athletes, it's a lot easier because they're just self-motivated? or do you feel like some athletes you still got to motivate?
You still have to.
This is 50, that's 40.
Yeah. Put the.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I got it. We got it.
Boom. Hey. Boom.
There you go.
I would say, athletes a lot of time are either self-motivated or have a false level of self-motivation that begins happening, because nobody knows what it takes until they're shown what it takes. So you can be motivated, but until I sit you down and tell you a gallon of water, did you have 200 grams of protein today? Did you eat? I ate 2 times. There's a lot of food on the plate. You didn't eat enough. You ate twice. I know you didn't eat enough. You got to do that to guys. You got to make sure they wake up. They prep their food the next day. So when it takes field work, like measuring a 10-yard fly, that number's got to drop. You got to be intense in your sets in the gym. You got to drop that number. You got to put the work in. Sometimes when you don't have data analysis, the athlete stops working as hard because they're not seeing the progress as much. But with data analysis, there is an easier pitch for motivation. But when you really show an athlete it takes what it takes and show them what it takes, that I find that there's wheat and tare, like the Bible parable. When they begin to grow and when they begin to develop, some hold weight and begin to bend. Some don't hold no weight and they stand straight up. You know who the real are and you know who the real aren't at a certain point in time. Might be high school, it might be college, it might be the league, but you're going to find out if you like that or not. You're going to find out if you read or tear, for sure. For sure. That's what happens. It takes what it takes. But then you start implementing everything it takes, and then all of a sudden, that dream seemed like a thought. And then the thought seems like something you forget. And then all of a sudden, you're like, man, I didn't do what it took. I just did what everybody else did. And you end up where everybody else
There's
at.
got to be a big regret with that, though, too, right?
The biggest regret the only thing you'll regret as an athlete is the things you did not do. That's the only thing you'll regret as an athlete. That's the only thing you'll regret. Like if you're self-motivated, or that's not the word, but like, you know you could have did more. Got done with college, didn't you? You know you could have did more. Every high school kid. I gotta be careful with this one. I think a very high percentage. I think a very high percentage of high school kids can play football on scholarship. It's a developmental sport in a microwave society now. So if you start developing on the right things biomechanically, mobility-wise, nervous system-wise, and you prep yourself well 6th, 7th, 8th grade, like some of these strength coaches in Texas and whatnot, you develop yourself well, and then you begin to load these other markers like the clean, the squat, if they have prepared a better athlete over 7 years, if you're not at college on scholarship, at least at an NAIA, you're getting there. You're getting closer. You're getting closer. So I just think that we lose the sight of how palpable it is if we put in the work for 6 years. One of the biggest things that's going to screw the next generation is going to be instant gratification. It takes what it takes. It doesn't take what you think it takes. It doesn't take what you see on Instagram. It doesn't take any of that. It takes what it takes. It takes what it takes. And for football, 3 years max on varsity in high school, 3 years minimum in college. That's 6 years of development. Guys are in college for 6, 7 years now. There's 10 years of development there. How are you going to attack 10 years of work? That's what's rare to find with an athlete. Talent's not so much rare to find as doing the correct thing for 10 years or going hard for 10 years. Not even the correct thing, it's just going hard for 10 years straight. My bad, you guys are supposed to be doing plyos in between. I'm over here running my jaw, working out my mandible. All right, catch. Yeah, same jumps, catch on 2 at the end, just so you don't like. No, you're just going to be here with this. Snap it, boom. Hey. 2 on each. It's you, bro. Yeah, Zeus like, yeah. Not Zeus. We got a game on the 23rd, bro. Hey, go. I forgot you clean on those too. That's a good video. Go. Yep, go. That's how you know. That's how you know they got it when they like 8 years out and they come in and make a single leg pogo look like that. That's how you know, bro. Nobody reacts on an ankle like that, bro. I see an ankle like there's certain things too. Like you probably seen with bodybuilding. If your ankle does that,
contender, my guy.
Your ankle does that. I'm like, he played athletics somewhere.
Yeah, he was. He was. Sheesh.
He was solid too, though.
Yeah, but what happened? What happened to State? No, I'm playing.
What happened to State?
I'm playing. State didn't happen was the joke. State didn't happen.
You know.
Yeah.
So the combine obviously is right now being videoed and stuff like that. So I had an idea of doing all the gym guys, all the bodybuilders, and have them come out and do the combine, right?
Oh, yeah,
so like JoJo's gonna run the whole thing and just kind of see how they move.
Yeah.
Because it's like we seen what an NFL guy looks like when they move. Let's see a bodybuilder move. I think that'd be funny.
Hopefully they can continue to move at the end of the combine.
Bro, like it's gonna be like,
Be in the mix.
but
They
you
gonna
know
kill
in their
that
head, but you know in their
They
head
about
they
to
think
kill that
like,
225
I can
on
run
bench.
4.5.
Yeah.
I can run 4.5. They're gonna be running like 4.9, 5.1, something like that.
They realize how fast it really is.
Oh yeah,
I see. You know, would be out there for sure is Rod. He'd be.
I gotta get him for sure.
Nobody pulls nothing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. No, I gotta lead a whole warm up. I gotta lead the whole warm up if we do that.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna have them boys doing jump
we got
jacks.
we got that thing. We got that little jump thing right there. I'm gonna bring that
No, we
out.
doing vert?
I'm out. The only place they're gonna be good is the 225. Like 225.
They're gonna be great. They're gonna be great at that.
You're gonna be
They're
great
gonna
at that. But it's gonna look great. But then they're gonna come out here and jump.
People who squat,
tell
you'd
you,
be
gonna get
surprised. They can have a good vert. People who squat, I put Jeff on the vert, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Them legs be strong. Measure power development into the ground, force application into the ground. But the 5'10", 5,
40, all that.
L drill.
Even a broad jump got some skill acquisition. We're not doing the L drill. We're not even gonna teach the L drill.
The 40 though.
Yeah.
40 is.
Explain the 40.
Okay.
But explain the 40 because people think you're just running. It's not that. It's not that.
It's technique.
Yeah.
Your start is everything. You
Yep.
stumble, that's time taking off. Like
Yeah.
that there's no false stepping. You're counting all of it. You
No
know what I'm
wasted
saying? And on
movements.
top of that, if it's laser, it's for the most littlest movement.
Twitch.
The
We
twitch.
bringing
Time
lasers.
start, time
I
start.
got lasers.
So
We
you
bringing
can't waste no
lasers.
steps. You can't waste no steps. And even when you're running, you go side of that's just wasted movement.
Yeah, and also
Susie, stay inside.
So let me ask you this: did you kind of know like the number you could run? Like, do you have like
Yeah,
a?
so like
How
I
would you
mean,
think, though,
when
you
I was
trying to be
training,
explosive?
we had like a
Yeah.
mock pro day and things like that.
He runs.
And you already knew I was gonna be in the 4 You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, you know what? How can I critique it just a little bit, just to maybe stay straight, maybe not false step, maybe get up to my top end speed, my drive phase, my acceleration, just to try to knock down on maybe a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You know, not gonna be too far off.
So
Unless
you-
I can stumble, obviously. I'm seeing them. So, man.
Prepping him for pro day right now.
All from the same block, too.
And okay, so let me get this off my chest because I posted a video and it did terrible. And the thing about it is, it's a 305-pound, 6'4" human being who plays D tackle at University of Washington, and he's getting in crazy positions. Seeing a big dude like that run an L drill and get in certain positions, like. People fail to realize the general, like when people watch football, number one, I'm like, and they get hit and they're like, get up. I'm like, when's the last time you've been hit by a 250-pound man, grown man running at you full speed? So that's number one. But number two, people can't even do this. And then he's 6'5", 304 pounds with another guy right in front of him that's going to try to not let him get there. And it's just amazing what some of the bigger guys can do, but it's a whole different process because in their 40, now it's power development out their first couple steps. They don't have to open up and run. Okay, NFL Combine, have them boys run a 0 to 10 from the start. You should never care about 10 to 40 for a D tackle. Please stop running that at the combine. Get the 10-yard acceleration out the hole, but like there's certain stuff like that where you're using track and field concepts with a 6'4", 305-pound D tackle, and it's just like combine training is just kind of funky where you're always telling the guy like, hey, just pick your knees up, bro. You a big dude, sprint. Like I'm not about to teach you track and field right here, but pick your knees up and go. Pick your knees up and go. So like between like the skilled players and the bigger players, people fail to realize what's happening on a football field. The fact that like the Eagles took a guy who's poly and he ain't played football starting 4 years ago, and then they're gonna be on the field with like Darren Sproles who was like 5'6". It's just like it's amazing what some of the stuff happens. We really gotta look at stuff for pound. A big dude getting in a small position, a smaller guy getting tackled by a big dude but getting back up. Like let's do it again. Like there's stuff that's you're watching that's outside of touchdowns, it's actually pretty amazing in football.
So scouting's got to be. I mean, that's all scouting though, right?
Yeah,
like if I'm looking at a defensive tackle's 40, right? I'm not looking at his 40. I'm looking at his first 10 yards, right? So that's probably a way of okay, let me get a better defensive tackle. Why do I care about the 40?
Yeah.
Now,
That
do you think
actually
the
is a
40?
good-
Now, let me ask you this next question. Do you think the 40 is overrated?
Yeah,
Depends. Position-wise, I would say. Position-wise, it depends.
yeah, for sure. For
like,
sure, position
As a wide receiver, do you think you have to run 4-2, 4-3?
I'll say this. I went to school with Cooper Cup. What, 4.6? I would say 4.6.
I think we're like 4.6 something. Yeah.
But look at him. He looks fast on the field.
Oh, yeah.
He's a baller.
Yeah.
Dominant. Things like that. Jarvis Landry, same thing. Didn't run a crazy fast 40, but he was still able to get open against guys who run 4.4s and 4.3s.
Okay.
So
it just depends, basically.
it just depends.
It does depend.
I'll
Yeah, I
say
mean, the
speed ain't
routes you're
everything.
running, like you
About
gotta
to
think like it's.
Exactly. It's about to get.
And, you know, as a strength coach, I can even come back down and say like, I don't care about the 40. What's your GPS data? What'd you run in game with pads on and a helmet on? What's your GPS data? Number one, and then number two, what's the eye test look like when you're running up against a DB? Can you wiggle on that DB and get out of there? You're gonna run a go route. Like your team is gonna run go routes max 6 to 8 times a game, and let alone they got 2 guys they want to throw go routes to, so they're gonna get those 8. So the other guys, what's your game speed? What's your miles per hour? What can you hit in miles per hour? And then what do you run in game? Let's develop those 2 things because that's what your top speed, and then your game speed, and then from there. Sometimes the 40 is a good evaluation for top speed.
So Isaiah Bond came out and he said he was going to run a 4.2. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
And then he ran a what? 4.4?
4.4.
So do you think that looks bad if you're a scout that you're like thinking like, man, this guy either is overconfident, or do you think he just ran a bad 40 time?
There's a lot that goes
I
into
would say this.
Go.
4.4 is still very
Yeah, right? Like,
fast.
yeah,
4.5
yeah.
is fast.
4.5 is
4.6
fast.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's
I
the
mean, he
thing.
believed in himself. He was confident, you know, that he thought he was gonna run it. You didn't run it, but he still ran a fast 40.
Yeah, 4.4 is
difference,
crazy.
The difference between this is the thing that sucks is like the difference between the 4.49 and the 4.6 is going to be the start for a fast guy. But think about it, like if I'm a DB, my first step is here. Who cares about the first couple steps in the 40? If I'm a receiver and I'm here, I gotta get past you. I gotta do something. You're not gonna get to that speed. You're not gonna get to the 4.49 speed. You're not gonna get to the 4.6 speed. What's your damn GPS data? What's your game speed? What's your game speed?
So game tape is the most important thing.
GPS data for game. Like you look at the data when they're actually playing games, and then film. Yeah,
Changing
film.
direction
Yeah.
on that plays a key too.
Because you're not gonna get to that top speed. That top speed's gonna be da.